All right, man. This is the finale, man, of this read. Go ahead and put it out there. Let's go straight into it. In conclusion, Carter G. Woodson observed in 1920 that one of the longest unwritten chapters of the history of the United States is that treating of the relations of the Negroes and the Indians. In 1931 work, The Story of the Negro, Booker T. Washington observed that the association of the Negro with the Indian has been so intimate and so varied on this continent as the similarities as well as the differences of their fortunes and characters are so striking that I am tempted to enter at some length into a discussion of their relations of each to each other. Judah was oppressed with Israel. I showed you my other video about the African Jews they brought here. Let's continue. In the time since these gifted scholars have written, little has been done by scholars of all colors and persuasions to address this important aspect of American history. Our understanding of slave religion needs to be framed within the context of the multicultural origins of what we have come to know as Black church. To the extent that we write this history in black and white, we do a disservice to those very peoples whose story we seek to uplift. It is not the purpose of this paper to detail the specific influences of Native American religious traditions upon the developing of Black church. To do so, not as Black church, not African, not Negro. Let's continue. To do so is further separate those from whom God brought together. What I am proposing is that we take fresh approach to the early church in the Deep South, one that focuses on more complex understanding of the beloved community, and taking a serious look at the depth of the interactions, especially the religious interactions among African American and Native Americans. So now it's not Africans, it's African Americans. All right. In southeastern United States, that we may come to reframe our understanding of each, ultimately of ourselves. We come to understand that though this history is seldom told, it is as vibrant, as important, and as American as any of our stories. That we damn right. Let's continue. In case you are wondering what happened to John Merritt, the so-called missionary agent Negro, read other parts of this video. He eventually left the Cherokee and returned to his family, but as he was dressed in the Indian style, even his family members saw him as a wild man come out of the woods. He was later ordained by the Reverend Lemuel Haynes into the Methodist Church. So he was a Baptist, now he's a Methodist. Okay. He had a method to doing what he was to indoctrinate and enslave Indians. Okay. And he eventually moved to Boston where he resettled. So now he's a free Negro, so to call. Okay. Where he resettled, then he became friends with another free person of color, so not a free Negro or a free African. All right. Methodist minister and abolitionist, originally from the West Indies by the name of Prince Hall. Is this the man, Prince Hall? You know who this is. So this is the beginning of Masonry. Freemasonry. Let's continue. Prince Hall and a few of his fellow initiated by an Irish lodge of Freemasons associated with the British Army, founded African Lodge. So now it's African Lodge number one, but we not in Africa. That was eventually recognized by the Grand Lodge of England as African Lodge number 459. On June 1789, a report of Grand Lodge shows that Reverend John Merritt, the same Reverend Mr. Merritt, which achieved fame as a missionary to the Indians, was admitted and appointed chaplain of the African Lodge number 459 on St. John's Day in 1789. Merritt delivered a speech vilifying the institution of slavery, outlining the African heritage of the Christian religion. So the Christian religion now got African heritage. Okay, let's continue. And decrying the cynicism of the white Freemasons who refused to recognize the style and tile of black Freemasonry. John Merritt eventually joined his friend David George in Nova Scotia, where they struggled for dignity for their people, facing great difficulties. Eventually, Merritt and George set out for Africa and founded the colony of Sierra Leone. Okay, so Sierra Leone wasn't Sierra Leone before. Okay, I get before the 1800s. Don't sound like a Sierra Leone. Okay, okay. On September 22, 1797, a new lodge of Prince Hall Freemasonry was organized in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and received a chapter from the Grand Lodge of Prince Hall Freemasonry. The Grand Lodge was now led by the Grand Master, Prince Hall, the worshipful master of the Philadelphia Lodge, and was an Episcopal priest by the name of Absalom Jones. So this nigga name ain't even Prince Hall. And the treasurer was a friend of this by the name of Richard Allen. Richard Allen was an Absalom Jones also went to obtain some status in the African American. So they had to go and obtain status in African American community. So it ain't okay. But that this is another story. Okay, that was the end of that. Okay, this is some stuff I want to read, man. But check out the site for yourself, man. Check out the site for yourself. Here go the site. There's the site. Check it out yourself. All right.